Hello friends, welcome to Back to School YouTube channel. First of all, UPSC, APPSC, SSC and RRB preparation. Here I'm your Trinath Vasan. Today I came up with this video, and in this video I'm going to present you the lesson Stars and Solar System. It was taken from 8th class NCERT science textbook, lesson number 17. Okay friends, let's move to the topic. So once look at this picture, friends, what they are observing. There we have one girl and one boy. They are looking at the sky and they are observing very curiously about the stars and our moon. Okay, friends, these kind of scenes were happened in your childhood days. I think everybody's childhood days. That time you were very curious about what are these stars, how they are blinking like that, why they are staying there only, and why this moon is changing his shapes, how it is possible. So many lots of questions are coming to your mind while you are looking at the sky in night time. We have all the solutions for these kind of questions in this lesson. Okay, friends. So our topic starts with the heading Stars and the Solar System. So friends, before going to discuss about this lesson, we should know some fundamentals. Among that, first one is what is universe? Coming to the answer for this question, the universe is all of space and time and their contents, including planets, stars, galaxies, and all other forms of matter and energy. So, what they are saying, friends, the universe is nothing but it's a collection of planets, stars, galaxies, and other forms of matter and energy. So, friends, whenever you take one cloth, we can able to measure that how much it is. That means how much length it is. For example, you took a road, you can able to measure the length of that road. But if up if you applied the same concept to the universe, till now we don't have the perfect measurement of the universe. Why? Because we till now not able to measure the complete length of the universe. While the spatial size of the entire universe is unknown. So how much we can able to measure? We can able to measure only, or it is possible to measure the observable universe only. Okay friends, you can see how this universe was formed, how it is expanding, how it looks like by using this graphic. See friends, how this universe was expanding, how it is made up of, what are the different types of colors we can able to see in this universe. By looking at these kind of graphics, you can have so many questions are coming in your mind. Let's go and find the solutions for these questions. Okay, friends, we just know about what do you mean by universe. Now we are moving to the concept of what is galaxy. So, friends, coming to the topic of galaxy, a galaxy is a gravitationally bound system of stars, stellar remnants, interstellar gas, dust, and dark matter also. That means we can say all these stellar remnants, and interstellar gas, dust, and dark matter bound together by the force of gravity. So, coming to the topic of why we have to call these things as a galaxy. So, actually, the word galaxy is derived from the word or derived from the Greek word galaxias. So, meaning of galaxias is Milky. So, it's a reference to the Milky Way. What is this Milky Way? You must think about this Milky Way. A Milky Way is nothing but where our planetary system present. That means Milky Way is our universe name. In the universe, we can have more than billion, trillions of galaxies. Why? Because just now we have seen that universe is not we can't able to measure the length of the universe till now. So coming to the size of the galaxies range in size from dwarfs with just a few 100 million stars to giants with 100 trillion stars. Each orbiting its galaxy's center of mass. That means how these uh, how these elements or objects in the galaxy is orbiting towards a or around a particular mass because of gravitational force. You can have a look at of how the objects in a galaxy is revolving around its mass center of mass by using this graphic. See, friends, you can have a look at of see all the objects, all other objects like stars, remaining objects like comets, planets. All these things are revolving around the galactical center of mass. Okay, friends, we have just learned about what do you mean by galaxy. Now you should know about what is solar system. So coming to the definition of the solar system, the solar system is the gravitationally bound planetary system of the sun and the objects that orbit it either directly or indirectly. That means in a solar system, the center of mass is a particular star. In our solar system, the center of mass is or center of the center star is our sun. We have a name for our sun. We can call him as a helio. Okay. Next, of the objects that orbit the sun directly, the largest are the 8 planets. That means whatever the objects are orbiting around the sun, the largest are called as planets. With the remainder being smaller objects. That means other than these planets, remaining are very, very smaller objects. So, such as the 5 dwarf planets and small solar system bodies like asteroids, meteoroids, comets. Of the objects that orbit the sun indirectly, that means those objects which are not revolving around the sun directly, they are revolving around some planets. There are the moons, two are larger than the smallest planet, Mercury. That means those objects which are revolving around the sun called moons, but we have those moons which are larger than Mercury also. You can have a look at how these planets and other objects are revolving around the star. Here our star is sun, or we can call him as Helio. You can see how these planets are revolving or orbiting around the star or our solar system center of mass. You can have a doubt now how these planets are revolving around the sun, because of sun have his own gravity. That's why these planets are kept in particular orbits, and they are orbiting towards or around the sun without clashing one another. So what is the reason behind these planets are staying in their own orbits? Because of sun's gravity. Now we are going to the next topic. What is star? Till now you have learned about what do you mean by the universe, what do you mean by galaxy, what do you mean by solar system. Now we have to know about the heart of the solar system, star. So coming to the topic of star, the definition of a star is a luminous ball of gas. That means in our childhood we are thinking that a star is also just like a planet, but it's a red planet. But it is completely false. Why? Because star is not a planet. It is made up of gas completely. That means it is not made up of any solids or any other matter. It is just made up of only gas. Mostly what type of gas we have in stars? Hydrogen and helium. They were held together by its own gravity. How this gas is made in the format of ball? By why? Because it has its own gravity. How this star illuminating or producing its light? Because of nuclear fusion reactions in its core, which supports the star against gravity and produces photons and heat. Not only things like photons or heat, they can able to produce small amounts of heavier elements also. So coming to the nearest star to Earth, we have we have the sun only. So the sun is the closest star to the Earth. You can have a look at how stars are twinkling in the night sky or in the sky by using this graphic. Okay, friends, till now we have learned about the heart of the solar system, star. Now you should know about what do you mean by planet or what is planet. So coming to the definition of a planet is an astronomical body which is orbiting a star or a stellar remnant that is massive enough to be rounded by its own gravity, is not massive enough to cause thermonuclear fusion, and has cleared its neighboring region of planetesimals. Planetesimals. That means a planet is nothing but it's an astronomical body which is revolving around a particular sun, and which is having its own gravity. Because of that gravity, it can have its own shape, just like either sphere or circular shape. And it having its own clear, I mean it having its own clear orbit also. That means no other planets or no other objects have to come in its own orbit. Now we can have look at of these kind of planets. That means in our solar system we have these kind of planets. There are 8 planets in our solar system, starting from Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Now you can have a look at of how these planets are again divided into. So basically, the planets are divided into 2 categories. Among that one, first one is terrestrial planets. That means these planets are made up of rocks. Second one is giant planets. These planets are made up of some kind of gases. Other than these planets, we have trans-Neptunian objects also in our solar system. Scientists are thinking about there is a chance of having planet 9 also. So, how can you say an object, an astronomical object is a planet? For that one, IAU gave a definition. Okay, who is this IAU? The International Astronomical Union defined, that means IAU. The abbreviation for IAU is International Astronomical Union. They defined a planet as an object that follows the following conditions. In that, first one is it should or it must orbit the sun. Second one, has sufficient mass to be round or nearly round shape. Third one, it is not a satellite. Satellite means it should not revolve around any other planets or objects. And fourth one, has removed debris and small objects from the area around its orbit. Before we discuss, at the time of discussing about the planet definition, I have told you that a planet must have a clear orbit. That means it must remove whatever the objects coming to its own orbit. So if an astronomical object is following or is following these 4 conditions or obeying these 4 conditions, then that object can be called as a planet according to International Astronomical Union. Yeah, you can have a look at of IA rules and its classes. So you can have, if the planet is orbits the sun, it is having rounded shape and it dominates the orbit, then we can say it is a planet. That means if an object orbits the sun, its rounded shape and dominates the orbit, we can say that object is a planet. But what about if not? See there, if it is orbiting the sun, it can be moon or satellite. If it is orbiting sun and rounded shape, it can be solar system debris. If it is orbiting the sun and rounded shape and dominates orbits, we can say dwarf planet. If it is Obeying all these three rules, then we can say that object is a planet. So, in olden days, people used to say that in our solar system we have 9 planets. But recently, in the year 2006, IAU, or internationally, we are not accepting Pluto as a planet. So, according to IAU definition, both, for example, consider we are going to compare this Pluto with our Earth. See, our Earth also having the spherical shape, and it is orbiting around the sun. And coming to the concept of Pluto, it is also having a spherical shape, and it is also orbiting around the sun. Then why we are not calling the Pluto as a planet? Why? Because you can have a second condition once look at down. So here the Earth has a clear neighborhood in its orbit around the sun. You can look at there, some objects are coming near to the orbit of the Earth, but it's throwing those objects away from its orbit. But what in the case of Pluto? Pluto does not have a clear neighborhood in its orbit around the sun. See what happened here. Some objects are coming in on the orbit of Pluto, but they are also revolving in its own orbit. That's why IAU declared that Pluto is not a planet. We can call Pluto as a dwarf planet. As a dwarf planet. So this is the story behind why we are not calling Pluto as planet. Okay, friends, we are going to discuss remaining part of this chapter in part 2 video. And thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.